Hey, hey! And welcome to the QUB, the show where I sit down with good friends and have a long, drawn-out talk about absolutely nothing. I'm your host, Why Not Tuneish. With me today, an artist many of you may find familiar, at least if you're on Instagram, my good friend, Josh Dreamer. Say hello, Josh.
Hello.
Coming in via Discord audio.
Yep. So it might be good quality or not. Depends on how you're listening to it.
It's mediocre quality, just like everything else I make on YouTube.
That's what I'm hoping for. That's all we hope for when we're on our headphone audio.
Not everyone can afford an actual mic or needs an actual mic. I mean, before this, have you ever had a need for an actual microphone?
Not really.
This is the problem.
The most important thing is that you can at least hear the other person.
Yeah. And
don't gotta be fancy and all of that. It's just, at least I can hear you.
Yeah, and your audio could be way worse.
I could sound like I'm on one of those radios.
And there he goes. Welcome back to an episode of the QUB.
Howdy there, Johnny boy. It's great to be here.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by smoking. It's everywhere. Go into it.
You'll definitely not get lung cancer.
Get lung cancer. Don't go for vapes. Get lung cancer, kids.
just cut out the middleman.
Cut out the middleman. Can we cut out the middleman and just find a way to buy lung cancer?
Just package it and port it out.
I mean, we've known about the problems of smoking for years now, at least since the 80s, I believe.
And now they're trying to make it cool with e-cigs and vapes. You can do it too, kids. Don't do it, but please don't do it.
I think I spoke about this on last episode, or maybe I was just talking to Mouse about it. But with e-cigarettes, you're just paying to be addicted to something. It's pretty much just flavored nicotine.
Yeah, basically.
Guys, there are easier ways to get addictions, I promise.
Video games is a much safer option.
Exactly, and it costs less, depending on who you are.
Well, unless you're playing one of those live service games where it's all microtransactions and DLC.
Get addicted to blowing your money.
Get addicted to season passes.
Go to Vegas. Go to Vegas. Get addicted to losing your money.
Get addicted to gambling.
At least then you have your health.
Very true.
Oy vey. I had something to say before the whole smoking bit, and I don't remember what it is now. Oh, right. For people who may not know who you are, Josh, why don't you take a minute to tell the audience about yourself?
I am an artist on Instagram, obviously. I occasionally do drawings of my own characters. I do fan art. I do crossover fan art, the most fun kind. And I just do a bunch of I post like a lot, almost daily.
Pretty
on my
much.
Instagram. Yes.
And like all guests on the show, who are on Instagram at least, you have way more followers than I do. Currently sitting right under 2,400. I love the crossovers you do.
Thank you.
It's a lot of fun. And you have this thing you seem to host every couple months or so. That thing where you decide on what you're drawing next. What is that again?
Oh yeah, crossover concepts.
That's it.
It's like a community thing where I try to get people involved in what kind of crossover concept they would like to see me draw up.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it for like the past couple years now, and recently I announced that I'd be taking a break for it because I want to focus on some other projects I'm hopefully planning to do this year.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It's by the time this goes up, it's been a few months, and that time it's not a lie. It actually will have only been a few months. Is there anything you can clue us into?
I mean, I could be a bit transparent. I mean, who on the good old site Instagram is gonna see this video in
Exactly.
full, right? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
All right, no,
But
I'm not even gonna lie about that. It fully depends on how much you and I both market this episode.
yeah, I forget to post like, "Hey guys, I'm in this."
Hey
As soon
guys,
as the
did you know
video
3 years ago I was on an episode of this podcast?
you gotta check it out. I mean, it's a bit old, but you can give it a watch. I don't know. You
Back in the old
probably
days
killed.
when I was still Josh Dreamer.
Now I'm Josh,
Nightmare.
but I don't know. Josh Nightmare. That's me whenever it's October.
That's your emo phase. You go in October and you just never leave.
But yeah, go back to some of the things I have planned. Because one of the things I have in mind is I want to showcase just a fun little video game idea I have. It's called Cross Fandom Fighters. It's my idea for a crossover platform fighter, where different characters from different pieces of media, like movies, cartoons, TV shows, video games, are crossing over to duke it out with each other. And basically, the franchises involved are from franchises with big fan bases, hence the name Cross Fandom Fighters.
Well, now I'm just tempted to ask if I can have a cameo in it, because I'm the ultimate crossover. I just have a very
You're like
puny
the-
fan base.
You're like the announcer.
I am a sentient cartoon character who travels the entirety of the animated multiverse.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to cross over?
Cross Fandom Fighters. And another project I'm planning to do this year is a fan comic.
Ooh.
It's gonna be a fan comic. It's a Mario and Sonic crossover comic.
That's going to be an interesting one.
And the reason why I want to do this fan comic is to not only dip my toes into like reading comics, because if I want to get more comfortable with doing this, have more confidence in my abilities, I feel like doing a fan comic of things is like a good start, rather than just diving head deep and fumbling the bag along the way.
Oh yeah, that's what they say. You should always write what you know.
Exactly.
It
And what
gives
I
you,
know,
better content.
and what I know. And what I know is two things: crossovers and
The bathroom
blanking out.
schedule of the North American hedgehog.
Exactly.
That second one doesn't come in handy much, but you'd be surprised.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You never know when you're gonna pull it out at parties. You know what I mean?
You know, the North American hedgehog only goes to the bathroom while it's running.
And the funny thing about hedgehogs is they're actually not fast. Sonic actually lied to you for all these years.
Sonic isn't real? Clickbait, not at all.
That's the next game theory video.
Sonic isn't real? that's what his team's up to now that Matt Pat's taking a back seat.
Yeah. Oh man, this final game theory video, it really hit me, man.
My goodness, the endings.
The endings too. The endings were crazy.
Okay. Can I tell you my fan theory? Can I tell
Go
you?
ahead.
All right, it's more like fan fiction theory, but you know the ending where he gets to meet Scott Cawthon. Okay. I like to think that after he walks in, just like, we have much to discuss. They're just like lounging in the backyard. For whatever reason, there's a beach out there. He's finally hit retirement. And Scott just like looks over while they're both drinking Mai Tais or something. And he's just like, "So, Matthew, would you like to finally know the entire story of Five Nights at Freddy's?" And he just thinks it for a minute and just says, "No, it's not worth it if I can't find it out myself."
No, I don't think I will.
I'll figure it out.
You know what? After all these years, I think I want to continue finding it out myself.
Yeah, wouldn't that be beautiful?
Yeah. It was like Matt Pat, you could finally figure out what was actually in the box after all these years.
No more of those
Empty.
4 different
But
guesses.
tempting, but no. I've already tried to solve it several times. I think I finally hit what was actually in the box. But thank you.
What about Mustard Man?
I know who Mustard Man was.
Are you
Don't do
sure?
not, I swear. Please, don't.
My goodness, I respect Scott so much. That man made my teenagehood.
He made everyone's teenagehood into adulthood.
Oh, absolutely. I know the FNAF lore forwards and backwards at this point.
Thanks to Matt Pat.
You know, I actually wasn't into Matt Pat until maybe around after the 3rd game had launched. I still wasn't watching him.
I think for me, it was also either after the second FNAF game or because I did watch like a couple of his other game theories before his FNAF one really like dug his claws into me and like had the death choke of my entire childhood.
I remember I was with Mouse one night. We had driven like 2 hours just to get a very specially ordered Funko Pop that I had transferred between multiple GameStop locations. We were looking for, I believe it was Mr. Hippo. I think that's the one it was, maybe. I don't remember. This probably changes every time I tell the story, but it was probably Mr. Hippo. And I hit my very first flat tire coming home. It was around 10 o'clock at night. We were still 40 minutes from my house, and we had to call my dad to come get the jack to, help us out. And while we sat there, Mouse just like, he turns off the AC, he connects to the Bluetooth radio, and he's like, you know what, you're finally sitting through this. And he turns on the playlist of Matt Pat's Five Nights at Freddy theories. I sat through a couple, and I was immediately hooked. I think that was what first started my journey into becoming the giant nerd I am today.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah. And now look at me. Now I'm an encyclopedia of random nerd things that will never help me, like the Five Nights at Freddy's games.
You're at an interview and you just
What is your greatest strength? I can tell you the entire life story of Henry Emily.
Like, good, you're hired.
Oh my god, if only it was that easy. I've been looking for steady work for a little over a year now. I'm a professional freelancer right now, which is basically just me saying I do multiple different things on commission.
I'm self-employed.
Yeah. It's actually it's just enough and then some to pay my gas bills to get to college. Okay, well, you know what, that was a good few minutes to start off. Oh wow, we're already a fourth of the way through. I think it's the longest time anyone's taken before I actually pull out the list. Okay, Josh, the way this usually works is I have a list here of multiple random topics that I bounce between. And I usually have my guest pick one at random. So I want you to pick a random number between 1 and 24. Let's say 24.
All right. First number at the top of my head. 15.
Okay, this is an interesting one. I don't usually bring any guests on who can answer this one. Or rather, you'll see.
Oh, cool.
Josh,
Okay.
do you do any impressions?
Oh.
I remember
Oh, boy.
I first put this down to be self-indulgent because I do many impressions.
No worries. I can.
You can.
Yes.
But which ones?
Oh, where do I begin?
Give us some good cartoon voices.
Oh, well, I could do Mickey Mouse.
Golly gee, Josh, I didn't think you could do it.
Did somebody say the door to darkness?
Oh boy, my cartoons weren't the best. They were just first.
I could also do Patrick.
I want to hear it.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, this is Patrick.
I'm not a Krusty Krab.
that's actually really perfect. That's spot on.
Patrick, that's the name of the restaurant.
I feel like it's hard for anyone but Tom Kenny to do a perfect SpongeBob.
Yeah, because his voice is like so distinct for SpongeBob as well, especially when you try to do the laugh. I actually learned how to do the laugh because I remember
You
a
wiggle like your
video of
vocal
him
cords or your Adam's apple or
yeah,
something like that.
you do. You take your finger, you put it on your throat, and you start waving it.
Ah!
You make this noise, ah, and then you start waving your vocal cords. Ah!
It seems like it would be bad for your health, but he's been doing it for 25 years.
Yeah. Also, you could really tell when Tom Kenny has been doing this for like 20 years when you watch newer episodes and you start to hear him do the voice and you start to think it doesn't sound quite right anymore.
Yeah.
Not like it doesn't sound like SpongeBob anymore, but you could tell like Tom Kenny's getting older. He's not able to keep up the voice anymore.
People are noticing that a
They
lot
won't give him a
more.
break.
People are noticing that a lot right now with the cast of The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, especially the voice actress for Marge.
Oh, that poor woman. She's been
Like,
doing the same voice
her-
for 35 years.
Her vocal cords must be shredded at this point.
Well, I don't know, because it's not that far from her actual voice, which most people can hear. The only thing I remember her being in outside of this was she was in Lion King 1.5.
Yeah, she's Timon's mom.
She was Ma.
What are you, a Meshuggah?
I love her voice. That's the voice I think for a cartoon mom. It's just wonderful. I love that woman's work. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. A voice I can do. I actually have a list. I have a list of voices that I practice with. Which ones have people not heard on this show yet, though? Oh, I found that I can do a decent Roger Rabbit.
Ooh,
You remember Roger Rabbit?
let's hear it. Of course, I love Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. My dearest Jessica, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000.
That's pretty good.
Please. Let's see. I can do most.
Could you hold still for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Is this good? Yeah. You mean you could tell me you could slip out of those cuffs at any time?
Not at any time. Only when it was funny.
When it was funny.
I love Roger Rabbit. Oh, I can do a decent Mo Sizlak. Most having, most speaking. Yeah. Excuse me, everyone. I pee freely.
We got a leaky bum here.
Leaky bum.
Bum here.
Amanda Hug and Kiss? I need Amanda Hug and Kiss.
We sure need to find him somewhere else.
It's beautiful. Oh, a really hard one. Josh, have you ever seen a show called Venture Brothers?
Oh, I do know of the show. I've seen
You've seen a couple clips?
Yeah, I've seen a couple clips, a couple screenshots. I have not seen the show.
Okay,
So.
well, you might not know the names, but you might know of Dr. Girlfriend.
Oh wait,
The incredibly attractive villain woman.
yeah, the bee one.
Yes.
the queen bee.
Well,
Yeah.
she's a butterfly, but yes.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I can do a great Dr. Girlfriend.
Oh my gosh.
When we entered into this relationship, we both said we were people who didn't want kids. Lady au pair, and these are my murderous moppets.
I vaguely remember seeing like a bit of Adventure Brothers when I was way younger, and it was on Adult Swim.
Oh,
late at
dude,
night.
it ended like 3 years ago, and they made a movie that I haven't seen yet.
For the fans. 3 years later, doing it for
Dude,
you.
you gotta watch it. It's great for casual nerds, especially people who know a lot of comic book history, because every episode has like a load of parody references just scattered about. It's awesome.
Oh, I remember they did like an adult Scooby-Doo parody,
Ah, that was a
which
great
was,
episode.
which was better than the entirety of Velma.
Yes, everything was better than the entirety of Velma.
God, that show was awful. I didn't even have like the decency to watch it because I have too much self-respect.
Hey, when you know it's bad, you shouldn't watch it.
Yeah, I watched it through like other YouTubers reacting to it.
Smart
and I
man.
was like, wow, this is just this is awful. This is so bad.
I really hope that woman's career is over with. She ruined it. She just wrecked any chances she had of it.
So true. And because the thing is that I never usually get upset at pieces of media or find things like so utterly bad it makes me want to shriek
I do.
to the top of my lungs. But there are some things where I'm just like, ooh, I'm at my breaking point, and this is it.
Boy!
Oh, rabbit! No, not like that.
Rack and sack and varmint! I wish I could do more of those voices.
How would you rate yourself? Like a 9 out of 10? I get that one a lot.
100%. That show wasn't half bad when you go back to it, but it sucked when it came out.
I've seen this one obnoxious person on Twitter that say like the Looney Tunes show is bad. I'm like, what are you on? It's hilarious.
I don't know, man. I just don't think Looney Tunes needed to turn into Seinfeld.
It's perfect.
It's watchable. I give it a solid B-. That's higher than most things I rate. Most things I rate, I give it C-. You know, I've actually considered making another show here on YouTube where I rate movies. It would just be called the C- review. Because almost everything I rate, I hate so much, I give it a C-.
At least it's passing. It's passable.
It just barely passes. That is a why not approved C-.
You can watch it if you like garbage. But that's only my opinion. Don't get too bent out of shape. You can like whatever you like, and I can like whatever I like, but we don't have to agree.
The thing is, I'd like to have a co-star on there, and I've talked to my buddy Joey. I'll flash him on screen right now up there. There he is. There's Joey. He's up there, right?
Hey, handsome guy.
Oh, I know. Look at that goatee. But he's a professional illustrator, and the majority of our friendship nowadays seems to be based on me reviewing movies poorly and him being shocked that I hate them so much.
Oh, I can imagine the shenanigans.
I want him to be...
You like this movie? Yeah. I was like, yeah, I think it's garbage. Dude, it's great. What's wrong with you?
I don't care how much you argue me. Turning Red sucked.
Aw, nah.
Look, man.
I like Turning Red.
Look, man, I didn't want to see a movie that taught me to hate teenagers. That just seems like a bad thing to do.
Funny you bring up the whole the polar opposite opinions thing, because I'm starting to bring about like in my opinion, I didn't find the teenagers in the movie annoying, but that's just me.
I found them dreadfully irritating. I couldn't stand him. I couldn't stand any of them.
That is completely fine. I understand. Not every character is gonna be to everyone's cup of tea.
Oh no,
and that's okay.
Oh, no. And in some movies, none of the characters are.
That's all around just bad. When you make every single character in a piece of media just unlikable to an nth, I can speak.
You got
to an
it.
nth degree. then you have to try to make something bad. Like, you just have to try to make something utterly awful.
I don't know. I feel like that was in a very recent period of Disney where they didn't have to try. Everything they made was just awful.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm also planning to see Wish finally, because it finally dropped on Disney Plus for some unexplicable reason. Why they didn't drop it sooner, because they dropped Marvel's like a couple months after it released in theaters. Like, you could tell when a studio is trying to hide the fact that their movie was bad when they wait just like months after like the heat of the argument died down to put it on their streaming service. Like, oh, it's finally here.
Now, here's the
Give it
thing.
a watch if you haven't seen it yet.
Here's the thing. I liked all the references and Easter eggs, because that's 80% of what you're watching the movie for is just loads of Easter eggs all over the place.
Like, hey, it's that thing I remember, and there's also that thing I remember.
Yeah, but when
and
you
that
take out
thing,
the Easter
and that
eggs,
thing.
it's really not worth the watch.
Because I feel like you can integrate that into a good story.
You just have
just
to
need
try
to-
harder.
Yeah, like, I've seen so many people post the concept, like some pages of the concept art that they showed up, and it looked so much better. Did you see what they were gonna do for the star? He was gonna be like a boy that transformed into different animals and like creatures and stuff. And I think he was supposed to be based off of Peter Pan.
You just know that they were
And
trying
then-
to check every box in their classic Disney thing, like including with the goat. The goat. Yeah, you remember how there was a time when every hero in Disney movies had a good wacky sidekick, like Genie or Mushu.
Mhm.
That is the only reason the goat is there. It wasn't like he didn't have a character, you didn't care about him. He was just a
He was
goat with
just
a really
there.
handsome voice.
He's there to sell plushies of the goat.
Exactly. Over half his lines are just there because we need the goat to say something, or people are going to forget he can talk.
My butt found it.
My butt found it. I cannot
Well-
swim.
And what also makes it worse is that they have Alan Tudyk voice the goat, and Alan Tudyk for like a good while, ever since like Wreck-It Ralph, he's been like Walt Disney Animation Studios' what's his name?
The Pixar guy.
Yes, that guy.
I never
He's supposed to be,
remember
like,
him, but we all know who he is. I'll flash his characters up.
Let me look it up real quick, because I'm like real embarrassed. I forgot his name.
I've forgotten bigger names on this show.
Voice of Ham, because I know that's what he's known for. John Ratzenberg.
That's it, John Ratzenberg. You know, in what was it, Soul, he didn't appear as a voice. He appeared as a character.
Oh.
Uh-huh. He was just there as a background character in the subway somewhere, apparently.
Well, that's like a good step up.
A little bit. They consider him a good luck charm.
Yeah, that's what Alan Tudyk was for a while now. He was King Candy.
Oh,
in
he was
Wreck-It
King
Ralph.
Candy. I was trying to figure out who he was. Yeah, I can do a very basic King Candy voice.
Well, yeah, because it's just Mad Hatter.
Yeah, it's
so
very
much
easy.
so much so that in the Once Upon a Studio short, they had Alan voice the Mad Hatter.
Have some candy. I'll put you in my fungeon. Fun dungeon. It's a play on words.
Never mind. Now I got a glitch to deal with thanks to you.
You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? Ah!
Ah,
You hit a guy with glasses. That's very clever.
I love Wreck-It Ralph. It's like Walt Disney Animation Studios' magnum opus, in my opinion. It's really good. Yes.
Personally, I think my favorite has to be, of all time, I know it's a little cheesy, but my very favorite is always going to be Aladdin, I think.
Aladdin is definitely really good too.
Robin Williams is the entire reason I wanted to be a comedian. I wanted to make people laugh as much as he did. I want to bring that much joy into the world. I that's what I want to contribute to in my lifetime. I want to make people laugh. I want to entertain people.
I want being a comedian to be my career.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And hey, who knows? Maybe this will launch it somehow.
This YouTube channel will
I-
make someone happy.
I got more views on this series than I thought I would. Now, every episode performs differently depending on who's in it, but I got at least 40 views my first couple episodes. That was nice.
Ah, that's really good.
Yeah, that's good for me. I only have like 60 subscribers right now, I think.
Like any large amount of views is always good.
Right.
Comparing your view count to like bigger YouTubers like the Markipliers and the Jacksepticeyes of the world is just gonna make you depressed.
Exactly.
That you're not reaching their highs. It's like you just started out. Of
One-
course you're not gonna reach the success that these two have been doing it for many, many, many years at this point.
Yeah, I only started last year. Or no, I started a few years ago and just wasn't consistent until recently.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've actually been doing something very different recently. I've been doing a lot of live action stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell.
Would-be lookers on my channel will see that I've, okay, there's an explanation for this. I'm currently still in college for some reason. And one of the things I'm taking is I'm taking a lot of broadcasting classes just to have something extra under my belt in case graphic design doesn't work out for me. And it'll help me get a job easier in a field I want. So a big part of that is just making films. Like I had a stop motion animation I did, Doe. I had the narrator. I had the meltdown. I had Love Cube. All of those great videos in their own right. And I've been having a lot of fun making them lately. Most of them are actually based on an old live action series I wanted to post to YouTube the very first time I started posting videos.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's the story of a man called Wacky Wilden, and in the background, the story of a company called Curall LLC, a quote-unquote medical LLC. Quote-unquote, because you should not use any of the products I've designed for Curall. Highly dangerous and bad for your health. Oh my god. But I love making them because it gives me a chance to be creative in other ways that I haven't gotten to be in a while. I don't know if you noticed this about me. I like to make very weird stuff for the sole purpose that I can.
Yeah.
I just do whatever I want as an
Why?
artist.
Why? Because I like it.
Then
You can't otherwise.
why? Why not Tuneish?
Why? What? Oh, I get it now. The pieces have clicked.
Yeah, that has actually surprised a couple people, genuinely. And I don't blame them. You know, shockingly enough, when most people first meet me, they don't know how to pronounce my name.
It's like, how do you say? We know.
No. It's usually Whitnot. And I don't know where they're putting that extra T in.
The T is silent, especially in how you spell it.
There is no second T in my name. Whitnot. It's not Whitnot. It's Why Not Tuneish. And most people don't know that until I send them to my YouTube channel and they hear me say it in every video.
Say, what's your name? Why not? Because I want to know your name. No. No, why not? 'Cause I
Hey,
wanna know your
everybody,
name.
it's John
Why not?
Ratzenberg.
Oh my god.
It's like, yeah, my name is Why Not? Because
It's who's on first.
Not.
It's who's on first, but much worse.
Exactly.
You know how I pitch this show to people when I ask them to join?
How do you pitch it?
I say it's like Seinfeld, but worse. They ask me, the way it happens is I bring up, I have a podcast. Or at random points, people will genuinely ask me if I do voice work because I'm very energetic and this entertainer's presence I have on. This isn't for the show. This is just how I am in life. And that shocks some people.
I am this upbeat.
Yes.
Why though? But why though?
Because I can't afford to be miserable.
It's like, I'm so sorry.
But no, I tell them, yeah, I actually have an animated podcast on YouTube. It's like, oh, cool. What's it about? Nothing. Oh? It's about absolutely nothing. I drag in a friend or an acquaintance or someone I really want to hang out with. I zip open the fly of the multiverse, randomly grab someone out of there, and we just talk for an hour and then put them back in with no memory. In terms of how this would be if canon existed here on this show, that's exactly how it would happen. I'm just reaching in and grabbing Josh in here. You just straight up pull a Flying Dutchman and just zip open the fly of reality to just grab someone to talk to for an hour. Exactly. For your YouTube channel. It's awesome. It rocks. For a lot of people I collab with, it's their character's first introduction to the multiverse. Yeah, because the thing is, I don't do like, hey, we're in the same universe, or hey, this is an alternate No. Why Not Tuneish has specifically drug you out of your universe, and you are forced to examine with your own eyes that you are not alone. There's a wider universe out there. A wider multiverse to explore. It's like, oh no! I love it. I've started writing a thesis paper on the animated multiverse. Yeah, I wish it was useful for something. It's super not. It's just a really cool piece of writing denoting a brand new branch of science so that I can explain away how everything works in every cartoon. Like from a universe point of view. They're universal laws of physics. You try to find the interconnective web of every single cartoon that has ever existed. Oh yeah, and the thing is, none of these people are working together on it. There is a genuine continuous strand of science you can bridge between it that no one can argue with. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I found a way to explain away a lot of things, like Easter eggs, plot armor, where plot comes from, how crossovers happen. And the thing is, every show I watch helps me out with it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to write. Did you ever see any of those videos that try to explain the Disney Channel cinematic universe? The main guy who did it is not with animated show. It is not with the animated shows. It's with the live action teen sitcoms. No. My God. It is wild. Now, we at least know for a fact that Victorious and iCarly took place in the exact same universe. Definitely, yeah. Yeah, we saw that for real. But there was also a theory floating around a while back that iCarly took place in the Drake and Josh universe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have implied some weird stuff. Like, what was it? Spencer being a kidnapper. Oh, yeah, because Megan and Carly look the same. Yeah, they are the same person. And then there's also Spencer and Crazy Steve. Who I believe when Sam and Cat premiered was in a mental institution or in prison. I forget which one. Oy vey. Well, I think that's as far as we can go on that topic. You want to pick another one? Sure. Pick a brand new number. Between 4 and 38. 4 and 38. 20. Okay. What's an actor you haven't seen in a while? An actor I haven't seen in a while. Like they might be dead, but you're way too lazy to check. It's like they might have died. Yeah, it's not important. Are they still there? I hope they're breathing still. That's kind of interesting. I'm sure I had an answer to this at one point. I super don't. I don't know what actors I haven't seen in a while. Most of what I watch is animation. Because there's always like a period in like media landscape where there's like an influx of this actor being in almost everything, and then at one point they just stopped showing up in films. Right. And it always changes each several years. So I don't have a real definitive answer. This might be a bad question to have on the list then. Yeah. Because you're not going to remember. Who's an actor you've seen too much of? Let's change gears. Who's an actor who needs a vacation? Just not for their health's sake, but yours. Well, as I love the guy. I really do.
Chris Pratt has.
Come on, man! Don't join the meme.
So he's Mario, he's Garfield.
So what? That's two roles. Why is it such a problem that he's Mario and Garfield? Why is that such a problem for people?
I mean, it's not a problem with me, but I do kind of understand like where people are coming from. Cause
I don't.
Well, now that I think about it, it's not really Chris. What is an actor that I think is in way too many stuff?
It's a hard question because you have to actually remember who's in what.
Yeah.
That just reminds me, a movie that should never have gotten a sequel. That should have been the question. I'm just gonna keep changing the question. Movies that shouldn't have gotten sequels.
Definitely. Wreck-It Ralph. Sequel.
That was an upsetting sequel.
Yep.
For multiple reasons, the slightest of which was just, it was all about Ralph's insecurities as a person.
I get what they were trying to go for.
I just didn't want to see it.
It was more so in the execution of how they did it. Because they really just dumbed him down a bit too much.
I think it's because Ralph doesn't know how to have friends.
They made it too much for me. They made him just a bit of a man baby in the sequel, and him being really insecure. I get that Vanellope is like his only true friend that actually likes him and whatnot, but
well, there's also Felix now and Sergeant Calhoun.
Yeah. Oh, don't even get me started on Felix Calhoun. They sidelined them hard, and I hate it.
Oh my goodness! They set them up for like a B plot in the movie and did nothing with it.
Yes, because they wouldn't focus on internet shenanigans.
Like, come on! I wanted to see them raise like 7 weirdo children.
Yes, I want to see them grow into becoming parents, but no, let's shoo it off for a throwaway joke at the end.
Exactly. Just not even gonna tell us how you did it. Not even gonna give us a mini sequel. Nothing.
Oh. They're like, hey, let's have a you want to raise perfect children? Well, we're not gonna tell you because that's the joke. That's the joke that they always go with.
Yeah. Oh, you know what movie never should have gotten a first movie?
Oh, what do you think? Should have never had a first movie at all.
Boss Baby.
Oh, yeah, I complete. Yeah.
Boss Baby is a solid D+.
Yep.
And I don't even want to see the sequel. My goodness, just why?
I didn't bother to see the sequel either because
I don't think most people bothered to see the sequel.
Because I did see the first movie. I thought it was all right.
Oh, and I have a story on how I saw the first movie.
Oh, how did you see it, my friend?
The first time I saw the movie, I was in a sickly delirium. Okay, and I
probably didn't help with that.
No, the movie had been out for I think a few months, and I found it online. I think it was on Netflix by this point already, and I was just like, I got nothing better to do. I'm gonna watch Boss Baby. I turned it on, and the next week, when I was feeling much better, I had to watch it again to make sure that I wasn't just seeing things,
So make sure what you were seeing was actually happening in the film.
Yeah,
and not your brain just playing a prank on you.
I wanted to make sure that I had the same opinions with a level head, and both times it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I've only seen that movie twice, and I hate it.
Thanks, DreamWorks. You made one of the second worst films that you've ever made.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what the worst movie I've ever rated, though?
Is it?
Twilight, F-. There is straight up nothing good I can say about Twilight.
And thus started the trend of better love story than Twilight.
Exactly. That was such a horrible movie. I didn't care about the actors. I didn't care about the characters. The lighting was horrible. The stabilization of the camera was worse. The writing was absolutely terrible. My goodness.
One thing I will say that's good that came out of Twilight and that's the Twilight parodies, especially those that came from Mad.
Now that I think about it, they had a lot of those.
Yeah, because it's like a good feeding ground of content, because it was so bad.
Mad had a lot of Twilight gags, didn't they? That show ran on for longer than anyone remembers.
Yeah. I think it ran for like 2 seasons.
Oh, no, it ran for like 6, I think.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Mad I remember is from Cartoon Network.
Yeah, mine too. It ran for a while. I think Seth Green just wanted to. I bet Seth Green bankrolled it. Like, I need people to eventually want to watch my show.
Well, let's make Robot Chicken for kids.
Exactly. And everyone will want to watch my show.
How does it feel to be on a main network? You! That was always funny.
You know, that was the very first episode of Family Guy I ever watched.
The multiverse episode?
Road to the Multiverse was the first one I ever watched.
That was a bit interesting. And then you watch the extra show and it was like, the heck? I was hoping for more multiverse shenanigans.
My goodness, they started that road to stuff. Originally, Brian and Stewie were pretty much enemies constantly. And then by the 4th or 5th season, they're just like, we just do this. We're friends. We're best friends. I don't hate you anymore.
Yeah, we're kind of frenemies.
Not even frenemies. They're best friends. A dog and a baby. It makes sense until you watch the show.
Dog and a baby. What'll they think of next? Whoa.
This dog is a bag and an alcoholic. And this baby's a genius. And British? Wow.
Tune in on Fox at 7
to see Brian and Stewie.
I was surprised that never became a spinoff.
I'm glad it never became a spinoff. How the hell do you spin off with that? He's in diapers and he can't survive on his own. They're both incapable of doing anything on their own without making it like obvious.
Oh, yeah.
It would be like Stewie would announce and remind the audience every episode that Fox wanted this. And like they we're not supposed to question why no one has a job, but they still live in a great apartment together. No one's questioning where Stewie is.
Like it's Friends logic. Like, how the hell do these people have like dead-end jobs and you have the nicest apartments?
Well, they made that joke at one point. It's just like, yeah, all on the couch complaining that their bosses hate them. And then I think it's Joey just like, maybe because you're at a coffee shop at 10 in the morning when you should be at work. Oh, and then later, what was it? How I Met Your Mother did a joke on that, where they cold opened in a coffee house, just in dead silence, hanging out on couches. Just like, nope, can't do it. Hanging out in a bar is way cooler than hanging out in a coffee shop.
The slight burn towards Friends is insane.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Don't you just love it when shows just poked fun at other shows?
I do. Yeah, I want to shift questions here for a second on you. We're getting through more questions than anyone else who's ever been on my show. You're being hunted down by a celebrity. Who are you probable to escape and or fight off?
Ooh. Oh, that's an interesting question. There are definitely celebrities that are very
Easy?
easy to pick off.
Pathetic? Weaklings?
Exactly. There are celebrities that are athletically fit, can probably take you down. And then there are celebrities that definitely can probably outrun. I'm not too sure. I don't know these people's lives. But I definitely think...
And I want to make this clear. They are trying to kill you. They are hunting you for sport.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so you have no choice here.
I have no choice but to survive.
You have to pick them off.
I could say for certainty that I'd get hunted down by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh my goodness, you're not fighting him off.
Yeah,
He's gonna eat you alive. Look at the
gonna
size of him.
he's gonna snap me like a twig.
Yeah, with incredible ease. Now, if there's any celebrity I could probably fight off and survive against, I'd have to go with Danny DeVito.
He's a lovable dude.
He's he's shorter than I am. He's slightly fatter than I am, and he's slightly weaker than I am. I can just take him, I think.
I'm the trash man.
For the longest time, I only knew him as Philophetes, what was his species? In Hercules.
Oh, no, I know, I like heard it several times, but I don't remember it.
The Goat Man.
Yeah, basically.
He's just Phil the Goat Man. He has a fur wedgie. I wish I could do his voice. I'll remember it later, and it's gonna bug me, and I'm gonna choose to bug you with it. I'm gonna remember it 3 a.m, and I'm going to spam you with the species name.
I know the species name. Why not? It is 3 a.m.
I got work in the morning, man.
I get sleep deprived, man. Come on.
Yeah, but you have to know too. I know, so now you must know. I must scream it from the rooftop.
I know it, so you have to know it.
Satyr! It's a satyr! That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That took me a second. It's always in there. Oh, I love guessing games like that. But who are you actually fighting off?
That's another good question. Which celebrity?
Who are you able to fend off and survive against? And I know it's tempting to pick an elderly man like I did, but like, come on. Only one of us can cheat here.
Only one of us.
I already cheated. You don't get to.
Because saying an elderly celebrity, that's just like, okay.
Unless it's a really awesome elderly celebrity.
Like the guy from Mary Poppins, I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Who's like I think he's like almost 99 years old.
Impressive, jeez.
Yeah, he's been kicking around. And it's gonna be devastating when he leaves this mortal coil.
For some reason, I feel like Christopher Walken could pick me off easy.
Christopher.
I don't know why. I think I'm gonna hear his voice and just get too distracted.
I'm gonna find you. Why not?
Why not? You have to know.
Your head on the wall.
You can't
hide from me.
This is the end for you. I'm going to pick you off, and you're not gonna like it.
Gonna die, man. You can't escape from the multiverse now. Because I am in every single universe. You have entered the Walkenverse.
You know, when I was younger, they loved putting me in villain roles because they loved my voice. And it sort of just got to me at some point. I love doing the Christopher Walken voice. He's such a particular character.
Poggers.
The way that you speak.
Poggers.
Don't make him say poggers. Come on. Christopher Walken has more self-respect.
Are you sure he played not an orangutan? I know now. He's not an orangutan.
Yeah, he's a Gigantopithecus.
A Gigantopithecus.
That was an interesting role. Like, there have been many bad live-action movies, and he was the only good part of that one. I loved hearing Christopher Walken as King Louie, the giant monster ape. Oh,
but yeah,
they do.
Back to
I want to be like you. It was weird because he didn't sound like how he talks, and I know that's true of anyone who sings.
Well,
but
he wasn't singing it. He was just saying the lyrics as Christopher Walken.
It was really funny. It wasn't great, but it was really funny.
But to the topic of who I would stand a chance against, I think maybe Tom Holland.
I don't know. He got really fit for the for those movies.
Yeah,
But he's still young. He's about our age.
Yeah, he's in his 20s. Yeah.
So maybe we might have a chance at him just because he's not a much more grown man than either of us.
He's not an Adonis like Thor or Captain America.
Now I don't I don't like my chances against him for some reason. I don't know. I feel like for some reason he knows how to throw a punch. I mean, to be fair, I do too. I could throw down if I needed to, but I also feel like he's definitely faster than I am.
Oh, definitely.
I'm carrying around a lot of weight, and a lot of it's in my ass and in my gut. I'm a fat man.
I mean, I'm not that fit either. So,
what about Michael Myers?
Oh, yeah. I would definitely kick his.
Are you sure?
I mean, okay. To be fair, I haven't seen how he looks like now, so I'm not sure. But
Didn't Michael Myers play Mike Myers? That is the name of that guy, right?
I'm so dumb. I thought you meant Mike Myers.
No, I meant the actor Mike Myers.
Okay, yeah, that's who I was talking about.
That one monster's name is Mike Myers, right?
Yes, I think so.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why they chose to name a character after an actor. That is really dumb.
Like, it makes it so confusing because for the longest time I didn't know his name. I thought I thought he was just the monster with no name who can't be killed, and they knew that he was played by Mike Myers.
Yeah.
Just wow.
But yeah, I'd go toe to toe with the Cat in the Hat.
I loved that.
I go toe to toe. I go toe to toe with Shrek.
You'd go toe to toe with Fat.
Oh, hello there.
Did you just fart? Maybe. The only clips I've ever seen of him is when he says something really depressing and then just rips one. I gotta watch those movies all the way through one day.
I haven't seen like any of them, but I've heard they're like really good.
Oh, that reminds me of an embarrassing thing.
Psychedelia.
That reminds me of something embarrassing I realized the other year.
Boy.
So I'm still living at the apartments at this point. It's me, Mouse, and Magic Bear. Magic Bear was the last guy on my show last season. And we're strolling through memory lane, telling Magic Bear about when Mouse and I went to high school together. Just looking at old names and trying to think, what happened to this guy? Oh, she's probably not doing so good. Oh, no, she went on to be successful. Just seeing that. And then we get to my page in the yearbook. And for the first time ever, I realized I looked exactly like Austin Powers. Like, it just hit me. The grin, the really thick glasses, the specific haircut I had at the time. I looked, and it didn't help that it was senior photos, so I was already wearing the suit.
It's always interesting to find. It's always interesting to find your celebrity twin, but it's also even more interesting to find your fictional celebrity twin.
And the thing is, this was only like 3 years apart at this point. It had been 3 years since I took that photo, and I didn't realize it. Like, I was so embarrassed for myself.
You randomly look back at that yearbook and without you realizing, like, wait, when did Austin Powers get? Oh, wait, that's me.
I don't look that much different now. I just have way better hair. Now I just pull everything back. I've got, I believe it's called a pompadour.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, we're winding down here. Do you have anything you want to ask me before we close this out?
What is a good question?
Yeah, because we need a good one to end off on, and anything I have is going to be way too long of a conversation.
When did you start? Like, when did you start doing? When did you start doing art?
Oh, doing art. That is impossible to tell. As far back as I can.
I've been doing this ever since I was birthed.
I've been doing it since at least the late 30s. No,
that's black and white.
But no, well, why not is black and white? Because originally he was supposed to be like a descendant of the classic Rubber Hose characters, which that story has changed dramatically. I'll get into that story in a different podcast episode when I have time. I can tell you why I do art for the most part.
Where you just drop like a multi-hour video of Why Not lore.
The Why Not does have lore. It's just, it's not as impressive as everything surrounding the lore. But no, I, for as far back as I can remember, since I was very young, I doodled monsters and stuff. And that is a trend that has come back now in the weird stuff I make in Blender art. But I remember when I was very young, I saw the Jim Carrey in The Mask when I was like 6, right? And I watched this man break the laws of physics and reality around him, and it just completely changed my life forever. From that moment on,
like the movie is just like a real good technical marvel of taking cartoonish antics and
Toon Force,
putting them into the real world. Yeah, Toon Force.
From that moment on, I wanted to be a living cartoon character. I started studying cartoons. I watched nothing but cartoons.
Who wouldn't want to be just a living, breathing cartoon character?
And that led back into that thesis I taught.
You can't die. You can't break anything vital.
That led back to me eventually starting to write my thesis on cartoon physics.
Oh, that is definitely useful at job interviews.
It won't be. It won't be unless I'm ever going into a career in very deep-seated animation. But yeah, I've been drawing for as long as I can remember, and mainly because I saw The Mask when I was 6.
The Mask is what inspired me to draw.
But yeah, we're closing down. That's about our hour up. Maybe over. I don't know. I have a lot of editing to do in this one. Stuff the audience doesn't get to hear.
I apologize again for my faulty equipment.
I don't know what's going on. I just hope the audience physically can't hear what we're going through.
As I don't want to be like your only guest to have this issue.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure someone eventually will have it again. But before we close out, you want to replug yourself? Remind everyone where they can find you?
Yeah, I am on Instagram. My account name is JoshDreamer23. Josh_Dreamer23. I believe that's it.
As always, you can find his link in the description below. But I'd like to thank you for coming on here, Josh. I've been wanting to get you on here for a while.
And this was fun. I had a blast.
I'm glad you did. I hope every guest I bring on here has a lot of fun. But yeah, that's our show for the night, for the week, for the month. Depends on how I'm doing editing-wise. But as always, he's been Josh, I've been Why Not, and I hope you're entertained. Good night, everybody.
Bye.